Hi, my name is Elder Riza. I'm 35. One of my favorite hobbies is collecting sports cards, and I collect hockey cards, football cards, baseball, and some basketball. And hockey is my favorite from the group. And I like to go online to buy and sell cards, to find cards that I don't have that I want, and to get rid of cards that I no longer want. And that's pretty much most of it. When I started, it's my single digits. I used to get the Drake's Cakes baseball cards. I had the bottom of the devil dogs and all that, and my father found them and ripped them up because he thought it was a waste of money, and I felt kind of bad, and I started buying more. And then later on I stopped buying, and then after my sister died in 2002, it kind of was sort of like an escapism, getting back into it. And then I would buy some cards and I'd want better ones, so I'd sell some of the other ones and then get the better ones. It was like kind of moving up and then getting better quality, and now I just kind of built up a nice little collection. It's been a little bit of both. Some cards that I've been wanting to get rid of for years suddenly have been selling, that I've been able to get rid of them because I didn't want them anymore. But then there's cards that I do want, and I guess because a lot of people are home more, and maybe they had the stimulus money or whatever the reason, or maybe just being home, they started buying more, and the price has gone up on a lot of cards, so it's been a little tougher to get them. And I didn't want to pay more, but I guess that's a reflection of the market. There's this one here of the Vince Lombardi trophy that the NFL has when they had the Super Bowl winner gets it. It came out in 1990. I think it was 1990. Pro Set was the company, and it was supposed to be very rare to get. I bought this a couple of years ago because I always was intrigued by it. There were stories that people would get metal detectors because the card had metal in it, so they know which box had the card in it, because it would be one card for maybe 100 or 200 boxes, so it was really hard to get. I always thought that was interesting. They did a Stanley Cup version too. I haven't gotten that yet, but I always wanted to see what it looked like, so I went and bought it. This is one of my favorite hockey sets that I collected growing up, that I still have a few left. It's a 1966 USA Topps Test, and it was called the Test because in 1965 they had planned to expand the league from 6 to 12 teams, and there would be 6 American cities playing. And they had a regular set for Canada, and when you look at the back, you see that there's no French. The French cards, or the Canadian cards, had French and English, and the American cards only had English, so that's how you can usually tell the difference, but in the front they look the same. And what made this set really popular is that supposedly only about 100 of each card were made. It was a 66 card set, and only 100 of each card were made. And there's a specific card there, Bobby Orr, that sells for a really high premium because he's one of the most popular players of all time, and it's his rookie card. All right, some of the things in my collection I found interesting is this is from the 1957 Topps football set. It's an advertisement card that the people for Topps who made this set, they brought to the vendors to sell it. They put like 3 cards in the front, and then the back has an advertisement to show them, why this is a good set for them to sell. And from that same set, they did the checklist, and the reason there's 2 of them is they're the same numbers, but one has twin Bloney gum that Topps made, and the other one was bazooka gum. And a lot of people, when they're collecting the set, want to get both variations, and the twin Bloney is a lot harder to get, and that usually people go crazy when one of these are on auction in high grade and unmarked, and they end up going for top dollar. This particular card here, it's a 1947 Bond of Stan Musial. He's considered one of the all-time great players in baseball. I actually really only bought it. It's blank on the back. I really bought it because it just seemed so odd. I'd never seen it before because it looks more like a photograph than a card, because the older cards have a white border. This looks more like a regular photograph, and since it was a good player, I thought, it'd be nice to have just as something that's interesting. That they usually call those oddball items that aren't the regular issue, like Topps, that was a big company, in Bowman from back then. And this one just had a nice appeal to me, and I just liked it. I have no idea where it's from or what company made it. I don't know what Bond is, but it was just really interesting to me.